Hey there, mateys. This is Skirmishes, a Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Good morning to you. Today is October 1st, 2016 today. September is over, and we're gonna be continuing the stories as to the Curse of the Black Pearl today. And tonight, as to the Black Pearl attacks on the Port Royal, on the Royal Navies, and those are the peoples, and the curse and against by the cursed pirates, and the curse and the transformated from the skeletons just as today. Elizabeth chased by Patella Rigetti, and he's trying to swing on it, his bang on it in his head. Ding! He ran down to escape from the resident's house. There are eight crews just take with the treasure, all the stuff, the silvers, and take them back into the ships. It's probably useful is all the characters I was about last 13 years ago, and this is a recall it with the pirate crew just capture it with the woman, and he just a cannon shot. He literally just shot her with the house into the sky. When the bad guys just breaking into the door, and he glass shattered down into the ground, and he closed the door. He tries to get locked on it. He tried to pick up there, and he was literally trying to drop it in the ground. So, ding! He's shaking his sword. Tried to hide in the seat. Tried to hide into the pantry, and tries to kick the door. Tries to break it. Try to be silent. What is it? Got the puppet, and try to find something to figure it out. He was unfreed the stories, and she tries to say them to those two guys. It's Parlay, and he said it her name. He said to her, and to the door open with the eye. Hello, puppet. And tries to open the pantry doors. Tries to capture. And she says Parlay, go into the code. What code or what's in the name of it? He has to join and say what should get that. He was literally just involved. There were some will of it, and I have a very interesting, very most important for you as to knowing, as they have to get out of there, and try to leave from Port Royal, and tries to continue to fight for the city. Will Turner fighting those cursed pirates. He has some honor in it. That's the big guy. Here's the big guy was the muscular pirate. He talks about for the literary evil. Say goodbye. He hears a cannon shot, and he was almost tearing apart, trying to swing on it with his axe on it. He tries to bang on it, and his glass shattered. But he said, "Don't talk to him like that." I says, "Good boy," and he look around at her, as Matella Rigetti capture Elizabeth, and she take her into the Black Pearl, and she says she literally just who you two, you brought the nearest of both stuff. Everybody says, "Come on, Elizabeth," and Jacoby's almost getting bombed and almost getting exploded. They try to stop. It tries to stop and look down to the ground. He runs down back to the ship. I hear you. Come on here, you scum. Ding! Will Turner slept down into the ground. He was passed out. He's still asleep. And tries to shoot on it with a shot and then still a shot and then destroying the prison almost. he's lucky the crew freedom for the escape, and he was certainly one of that. And he was ran escape from the fortress prison, and tries to counter fire. And he's in it's a blue night in the moon. He pick up for the dog bone, and some of the prison dog can hear. Tries to walk slowly, tries to stridently. It what's it gonna be coming, and then and you know what kind of being the stress or struggles. He was sort of been meant to for the means, and he hears it open that door. He tries to open that gate. The dog just running away, and Jack Sparrow didn't mean that, and tried to shoot. He literally something shot at with it at one soldier. He's down. He came. He was dead down the stairs. He's ran down to see how to see how to talk to the twig. It's known it hasn't been Jack Sparrow. Spit into the floor. He was literally turned to be unfriend, and he would never be about. And it just has been hard. It's been a hard ass, and now it's so stressful. And what this here becomes, and the moon is almost over as the clouds are mostly gonna be dark, and the black powers kind of firing to be continued, and then the crew on the 3 boats, and some of those ridiculous, some were the mermaid statue, and it was a reaching hand with the bird. So it could be about Captain Barbosa, and we should have been the captain here is ordering to the ships, ordering to about 100 crew. Yeah. And but he brought Bosun looks at Patello Getty. He says she brought her from the Port Royal. She brought her for the maitress and someone else. Maitress. She was involved. Tried to slap her. He was slapping her very hard. He stopped him. He was not to be in protection. It should have been about a parley. It's been understood. Isa, it says to the belief and reapply. And Elizabeth negotiates interrogating for Captain Barbosa. She's here to interrogate the incident of the Black Pearl. She found it into the Aztec gold. She wanted for hers for the last 10 years. And she puts on by Will Turner. And she is young. He was a bit younger. And so he remembered that all the ships do. And that she was been assaulted at everything would be can. He walked into the porch. He walked into the porch, and tried to drop it into the water. He'd say, no. Both all the crews would say no. He was a little bit freaked out, and just as for a prank a little bit. He was saying, welcome there, Miss Turner. Barbosa said us to be evil. He was the mankind. He says all of it. He was to steal the gods who had the form, taken to the witch, and he says, she believed as to the welcome to the Black Pearl, Miss Turner. They put her into the cabin, and she woke up. Well, Turner's woke up in the morning. The Duchess today and a sunny day. A Port Royal was being destroyed. Was his port of the city and the fortress. All the crew was wounded and dead. And he was literally just injured. They're all the injuries. And they helped her into the hospitality, You know, Will Turner looks up into the ocean when the Bat Pirates took off from the Port World last night, when Elizabeth is gone, and you're gonna have to talk to the Commodore Norrington and Governor Swan, and they need to help her out. They need to help her from Captain Barbosa. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. The same idea. Um, he was going to hunt him down. He must save her. He wasn't being learn about her lesson. She was he was her daughter, just formerly he wasn't being about the Turker for freedom in for freedom out into the ship. He whacked the axe into the table and summoned up on the map. So he is, Mr. Turner. He was saying not into the rash action. It has been about his as possible. And she was saying at the most had been possible. It was the same and it insulted me, wasn't involved. And that means they're gonna want something to happen there. And Will Turner found Jack Sparrow in the prison. And the bone looks like the key, tries to get her out of there from prison. Ching! He opens that door, laying down dead. And he was just certain. He was certainly wasn't the same thing. It looks the same thing. Sometimes will Jack Sparrow be deal by Will Turner. Tries to escape. Tries to get him out of there. And he with the wood benches tries to break it out. And tries to run into the river and try to hide. When the Jack and Will just going to the boat, there are the Commodores, the HMS Interceptor, and Norrington. Here was the question. Here's been this one. Oh, no matter, girls, what's gonna happen there. Is this been a loose or solitary eggs? He died of one of them, but those is size. Those is I. You know, just as shocking. While Mary's running through the fortress into the interceptor, when we're walking down in the water. We're walking down into the water. Tries to walk slowly as a slow motion.